It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 413. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe.
Hi.
Hi. This is really silly, but we use Google Keep for our
do?
run a show.
We do?
And this week, for whatever reason, it started showing bold.
Yeah, not on mine.
That's
I mean,
so
I
weird.
could kind of see. Didn't you see that picture I sent you?
You were on your phone, I thought.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to try turning off dark theme. Ooh, that did it.
Yeah.
It was the dark theme.
And so I have the different topics.
Headers. Yeah.
Yeah, like Peloton in the news, instructors, and those are bold, and it's never pasted over before, and now it does, and
It's exciting.
it's bringing me just a small modicum of joy
Good.
in
I'm
a
glad to
dark,
hear
dark
it.
time.
In dark time. Oh, I love you too.
What, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
This week, we are going to talk all about the new updates that Peloton is going to be doing throughout the summer at PSNY. We're also going to talk about the brand new special discounts that Peloton just put out for all kinds of different groups, like first responders and healthcare workers. So we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Apple Health has new updates specifically regarding the Row. And we also are going to recap the tech issues that hit this week, the next Lululemon Weekend, Members Weekend. We have a topic, we have an article that was all about the importance of meditation. We also have several updates for the instructors, Kirsten Ferguson, Bradley Rose, Callie Gullickson, Matty Maggiacomo, and Tunde all made the list. In addition to a couple of different artist series, we have a past guest update, we have celebrity updates, and of course, some content we have to hit as well.
Okay, before we get to all that, shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you are there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful. Also, if you want to help the show out with money, we will let you.
Sure.
You can do that over at patreon.com/theclipout. Now, you get things for your money.
You do.
It's only $5, and for $5 a month, you get ad-free episodes. If we get them early, you get them early. You got them real early last week.
Yeah.
Because Crystal took over editing, and so
And I did it.
we've eliminated the delivery time. So,
Cut out the middleman.
yes. And so...
And I didn't screw it up.
Yes. No one complained, so either everyone stopped listening
Oh, okay. That could be.
or you did it right.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
we're going to go with that one.
okay, let's go with that one. You also get bonus episodes. This week's is going to be jam-packed. We're going to talk about Nike is opening studios, like exercise studios.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the price.
I know.
We're going to talk about what it takes to be an instructor, Peloton instructor. When is a stroller walk not a stroller walk?
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. And we're also going to talk about some late additions I threw on the list.
Oh,
Super agers and what they all have in common.
that's neat.
So not just people who live a long time, but live a long time where they can
Yeah.
still do things.
I want a list. I need a checklist.
Yes. Little preview.
Yeah.
The checklist.
Yeah.
One thing.
Oh. It's
Yeah.
a mindset thing, isn't it?
No.
Good, because I am screwed if it is.
And we're also going to talk about wearables. I would venture to say almost everyone listening to the show has one.
At least one.
And is it making you healthy or is it making you crazy? So that's all over on the bonus episode at patreon.com/theclipout. Also, don't forget you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group, check out our YouTube channel where you can watch these, now edited by the lovely and talented Crystal O'Keefe. And, of course, you can sign up for our newsletter at theclipout.com where you'll get all these links and things sent directly to you on a mostly weekly basis. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
So the New York studios are stepping up their game.
They are. Yeah. There's going to be a bunch of new things. We're going to have just a very high level overview, new cameras, new retail space, and new programming revealed after the studio closures.
Oh.
And that's another important thing to note. There will be multiple studio closures. So that is important to note. Yeah, they are saying that there is going to be various upgrades throughout the summer, and just beware, you are going to have closures. Now, they have not told us those dates. As soon as we get those dates, you will get those dates because we will pass them along.
Because it's literally what we do.
It is literally what we do. Yeah.
If they upgrade London, what they need to upgrade.
Those smoothies?
That hot chocolate. Hot chocolate was dog shit.
Yeah, it was
bad.
I remember you were very dissatisfied.
Just brown water.
They are not updating the hot chocolate at PSNY, but they are updating the cameras. They said that they are going to replace 30 studio cameras, all with 4K capable equipment. And the cameras are also going to be more flexible, which will allow for better production, but potentially new types of content.
Any thoughts on what sort of content they're wanting to do that their cameras were currently incapable of capturing?
Helper B. Elizabeth threw out the idea, maybe a video series on wellness topics like hydration, sleep, and nutrition. Maybe they could talk about it right there in the different studios.
Like more actual just programs, not necessarily get on your bike and do something, but just
maybe
here's a show.
The other thing to kind of think about is that Peloton for quite a while has been, I'd say the last 2 years, really kind of trying to figure out what angles they want in the new studio.
Right.
I remember that they had the angle that came up behind the instructor that they use kind of only for special occasions.
Right.
They have the one that's like
the MTV spring break angle.
Yeah. And then they have the one that's like below the instructor.
The MTV spring break crotch shot.
Yes.
Okay.
And now more recently, they've been playing around with the instructors getting off of the equipment, and they've had a handheld in there. It just makes me wonder if the handheld's there, but are they kind of trying to give it more flexibility from that direction as well? So
we're going to call that last one Peloton Verite.
Verite. Oh,
using my film knowledge.
I like it.
A little bit of real spoilers sneaking in on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see. They also are going to be taking the member experience and they're going to add some new exciting programs. So the 100 Streak Day Challenge, we know that is back. It's going to be starting. We're going to talk a little more about it later in the show.
Okay, I was like, this is not on the list right now. What are you doing?
Oh,
She's gone rogue.
How times have changed.
You let her edit the show, and she's mad with power.
There's also going to be, and this is super exciting to me, Member Moments Mondays. This will be a chance for community groups to take over the platform for themed rides. Things like Black Girl Magic, community rides. So they would just be in there. It would be all like taking over all the bikes and have a whole theme around it, maybe a themed class around it.
Are they currently open on Mondays?
They are.
Okay,
so
I thought they weren't.
That is one of the days they're doing live rides.
Okay.
Live classes, excuse me.
So it sounds to me as if they're taking like a slower day and they're going to be like the communities groups, like, because we know you'll fill up a class or come real close, we'll take you off of a day where it's already just packed and has a huge waiting list, and we'll slide you over here.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
It does. The other thing is that you can expect more events, more pop-ups, more community gatherings. We talked about this from the earnings call a couple of weeks ago, and we are seeing it. You'll hear more about that in the later episode as well.
I wonder if they're going to do something with, there's a lot of space there that's just open and empty.
Hold that thought. Because they are revamping the flagship store. They want to expand the space for connected fitness equipment like treadmills, dynamic merchandising options, and they want to add different kinds of clothing options. So in other words, you may not see every different size they have for a shirt, but you might see more shirts there.
Okay.
So you might have to, maybe you still have to have it ordered or something like that.
So now I think they're closing down the store. There's the store that's 300 feet from there where you actually go and buy equipment, and then you have the
one
studio.
That's in the studio.
That's more just like clothing.
Yeah.
And when I hear they want to make room for treadmill, it makes me sound to me like they're going to move the equipment over there, because what it was always silly, in my opinion.
I never understood why they
Because
had
I
two.
don't think the footprint of that store is much different than the footprint that they have sitting there largely unutilized.
Yeah, because now they added the like little Normatech area or like the recovery area, but there's a lot of space there. You're totally right. But there kind of needs to be some open space because that's also where they have some of the instructor meet and greets right outside of it, and it would feel crowded if it was done too overwhelming.
I feel like I've sat in that space
You have.
longer than you have.
Except for that one time when you left when I was there by myself the last time we went.
Okay, but I've sat
But
there
most-
on multiple occasions.
You have.
Long periods of time.
Absolutely.
And like by and large, even when the instructor comes out, people line up in you're a very orderly lot.
We are type A, Tom.
And they line up in a straight line, so they really don't take up a lot of room. So
No,
like there
that's true.
is just a lot of unutilized.
There is a lot of unutilized
Square
space.
footage.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this will be very interesting to see. And it'll also be interesting to see when it will close the studio, what that will look like, how often that'll be closed. Will it be weekends? Will they do it during the week since they're already not filming sometimes during the week? So lots and lots of questions to come.
Peloton unveiled special discounts. So what do we got? We got the standard, nurses, military, first responders,
Yeah, that is true. You've got
teachers.
teachers.
Oh, okay. I'm just guessing. I've
Yeah.
not looked at this article.
Yeah, teachers, military personnel, medical professionals, veterinarians, and first responders all made the list. The hardware offers are things like $250 off the Peloton bike or $150 off of the refurbished bike. For the Bike Plus, it's $500 off, $350 off of refurbished. For the Peloton Tread, $300 off, Peloton Tread Plus, $600 off, and for the Row, $300 off. These are great discounts.
Yeah.
They're really good.
And these are just like standing offers for those communities.
They are. And
Presumably non-stackable.
yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
You might remember sometime last year they changed the verification group that they go through. So you have to like go through a process to verify that you belong to one of these groups.
Right.
You can't just be like, I am a teacher. Just trust me.
Yeah.
Just
I
don't
feel
worry.
like I educate wherever I go.
You can't do that.
Oh.
Yeah. You got to have an actual teaching position. So they are going to be verifying those things. And they
I'll teach you some positions.
Whoa. Also, good to note that students who are ages 18 and over are also eligible for discounted app memberships under this program. So not necessarily the hardware, but you get a discount on the actual app membership, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense.
Absolutely. Get them young.
Absolutely. Yep. So there are two app tiers still. You got the app 1 and you got the app plus. So they have the special pricing is going to be $6.99 a month instead of $9.99 a month for the app 1. And for the app plus, it is $12.99 a month instead of $19.99 a month. Those are really good discounts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're an Apple user and you what's that?
I am.
Did you get something stuck in your throat like an apple seed?
No, I was just sharing that I am.
Oh, okay. If you're an Apple user,
That's me.
okay, and you like the health app, that's
It's
not
okay.
That's not you.
It's okay.
Yeah. We have news for you.
We do. Yeah. So now you can track your rowing distance, your rowing speed, and your workouts all within the health app. And it is brand new. You also can get your elevation from walking and running. And you can get your speed and distance in those row classes. So that's all brand new. How exciting.
And I swear it's only a coincidence that we're now going into tech issues after the Apple Health app update.
Hey, you designed the order. So you have no one to blame but yourself.
But let's look at what went wrong this week.
Okay. The one that I think is most important is the lane break is failing to initialize for some members. The reason I say that's most important is because it started on May 16th and it's still out there. They're investigating the issue. There are no updates to this. There might be today, but there haven't been any updates to this. And I feel like if you like lane break, this is a real pain in the butt because there's not really an offering that can take the place of it when you're in the mood for a lane break.
That's true.
The other thing to mention,
Maybe they can put on the entertainment tab, they could add Guitar Hero.
I would be down with
You could just
that.
play a little Guitar Hero while you're pedaling. Probably a little harder if you're running.
Yeah,
And it's a non-starter if you're rowing.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Now, the other item I wanted to bring up is we have talked about this before. The logins to Strava are failing, which is preventing members from connecting to Strava. Now, if you already have a connection, those are that's unaffected. This is brand new connections.
Okay.
But They have been working on this since May 6th, and it's not fixed yet.
That's going to be upsetting some people.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but yes, if Strava didn't get it, it didn't happen. So
Absolutely. Your workout was wasted.
I know. It's very clear. Here's what we know.
Okay.
The next Lululemon Members Weekend will be June 19th through the 22nd. That's why you can't go in and book classes on those days. Invites to those who are on the list will be coming out very soon, according to Helper B. Trish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
That's right.
Helper B. Liz put together an article about the importance of meditation.
Yeah, I mean, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is May, and we wanted to just touch on this. It's something that is important to all of us at the Clip Out, but Liz was the one who was like, I will write an article about it because it is that important to her.
Okay.
So she talked about the reason that it's so important. It all kind of comes down to meditation is not just sitting still, that the classes that Peloton specifically has are designed to fit into busy schedules. So the guided meditations are going to meet you where you are. If it's 5 minutes, great. If it's 20 minutes, even better. But you can do that anywhere, whether that's at the park. As long as you have some headphones, you can, in a safe space that you don't have to feel like you can close your eyes.
Don't do it while driving.
No, don't do that. You can do it anywhere.
Do it while performing surgery.
No, that would be bad. That would be a bad idea. Then she kind of goes into, here's the different types of meditation classes. Morning meditation, which is great to start your day off on a positive note. Sleep meditation, which helps you go to sleep faster.
Don't do it while steering a Mexican naval ship.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody learned about that this week.
Yeah.
The kindness or witness meditations are designed for self-care. So if you're struggling with being kind to yourself, or maybe you need to leave the room for bearing witness to experiences, yours or someone else, these are great cues to begin the healing. Gratitude and reflection, they leave you feeling refreshed, grounded, and appreciative. And body scans, to me, these are super important for relaxing. The body scans, because they help you be in your body to relax. And then, of course, there are the deep relaxation. And those are amazing for obvious reasons.
Don't do it while playing jarts.
And our current Peloton meditation instructors are Chelsea Jackson-Roberts, Anna Greenberg, Aditi Shah, Kira Michelle, Mariana Fernandez, Nico Serrani. And Ross Rayburn, I know he's no longer with Peloton, but he has an amazing selection. Dennis Morton, he is going to be rejoining the Peloton meditation team, and he will be sprinkling in some new content. So there you go.
And coming up after this, we got instructors in the news. We have updates on Kirsten Ferguson. Bradley Rose has some big ones. Updates, that is. It sounded a little weird when I say it like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't a female instructor. I'd never heard the end of it.
Yeah.
And Callie, Gullickson, and Matty Maggiacomo, and Tunde. So stick around.
Instructors in the news.
Kirsten Ferguson is teaming up with the WNBA's Golden State Valkyries.
I have a dumb question. Where are the Golden State Valkyries? Is that like a California team?
Yes.
So it's just really strange to me that she lives in New York and she is joining up with a California team. And maybe that's simply because there aren't that many WNBA teams. Like, I know nothing about sports. I should have asked Nikki this ahead of time.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting.
I believe they play at the arena that almost hired me.
I think they do too. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So,
but then they thought better. They stumbled. They Googled me. They came across this show.
And they were like, forget it.
Oh, no. No. But Peloton seems cool. Let's hire Kirsten Ferguson.
Specifically, she joined the Valkyries Collective. Now, that's an initiative that was launched by the Golden State Valkyries, and it's ahead of their inaugural WNBA season that's getting ready to start. It brings together influential figures to support the team's mission through community outreach, storytelling, and cultural leadership. So what she is specifically going to be doing is bringing a strong voice for wellness, motivation, and community. And we feel that her role will align closely with Peloton's recent partnership with the WNBA.
Absolutely.
It's an obvious extension for both brands. And other members of the Valkyries Collective, since you might be wondering, are Michelle West, Mina Harris, Goa Pele, and Hunter and Alex Pence. More names will be announced as the season approaches.
Self Magazine has a very lengthy article about Bradley Rose.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, like that it wasn't that long ago we were having this discussion about Leanne and her cancer scare. I know we have mentioned that Bradley had a cancer scare and he's okay.
Right.
That is the important
Now,
thing.
He did not have.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I just wanted to throw this out there. She didn't have a cancer scare. She had cancer.
She had
like
flat out cancer.
Yes.
And
so much you get yelled at.
No, I appreciate that. I meant scare in the sense that
scary.
It is scary
yes.
when someone says
But,
we have to do further testing, and then she had the further testing and had the cancer.
Right.
So you are absolutely correct.
That is the scarier of the two options.
By far.
Make no mistake.
By far. Yeah, and Bradley had this huge painful lump on his rib, and so that's what started the drama, and he went through this whole process. I guess the reason that I was comparing the two is that he did it all privately
Right.
and under the radar before he came forward with it. He wanted some kind of resolution before he was like, I will now share this information.
Well, and you also hate to put it all out there and then be like, oh, it was nothing.
Totally.
And then you just look like you're just... Especially, I think when you're that front facing, it just makes it look like you're attention seeking.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I'm more of a person to kind of keep things to myself unless I get hit by a car. But
we didn't have a choice.
We did not.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm doing the clip out with a new lady. People are going to have questions.
They will. That's true. That's true. So, yeah, he was worried he had sarcoma, which is a cancer of the bones or soft tissue. And then he got an MRI to find out. And of course, waiting for the results is awful, just awful. Can't even stress that enough. So Peloton was awesome to him, according to this article that he did with Self Magazine. They were like, you take the time off. What do you need?
Yeah.
Which is great. So he tried to go ahead and work anyway because he didn't want to sit at home.
Yeah.
And then he got his results and the scan was inconclusive. The sarcoma, I know, right?
I'm laughing at the absurdity.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait. And they're like,
medical science has weighed in and the answer is,
it depends.
How do you spell that?
So next they said, okay, they could biopsy what it was. And sarcoma was still on the list of potential diagnoses. So because of that, the options were they could biopsy it and then remove it if it was something serious, or leave it, give it a few weeks. And the doctor recommended removing and doing the biopsy. So Bradley decided he didn't want to test fate. He did that. He only had to stay one day. He was able to go home. He was in pain and chose not to take the opioids. He did not want to risk dependence or side effects. And then he stayed with his family. And 2 weeks after that, he had to fly to America for his green card. His wife is American. I always forget this. And they were coming back to the U.S. at some point. They had to get the green card, even though that was like terrible timing.
Right.
And he said that being on a plane did not feel great. So then finally he gets to hear what the results are. And the doctor said it was benign. Like, what a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's a long walk.
And don't forget, he's going through this infertility journey that had just happened. And he's now, like, his wife is pregnant in the middle of all of this. And I mean, just the craziness that a person, like, every worst case scenario you can think of, I'm sure is going through both of their heads.
Right. Yeah.
It's terrible. And he also talked about how wonderful the Peloton community has been and how supportive they have been. And he wanted to bring up any awareness that he could to help.
And you mentioned his IVF journey, and he actually talked about that while teaching a class this week.
He did. And he talked about, so this was part of a 20-minute mental health awareness ride that he taught. And we just want to say up front that this is not your typical Peloton class, because there's a workout and there's music, but this ride was just about something much deeper. And this was taught, I need to say, this article was written, by helper B Lisa, who's new to our team, but she's been on the clip out. She is a past guest. She is Geneva living on the leaderboard. And
Should we play a past guest sweeper here?
No, because the editor doesn't want to deal with that.
I think we should have the editor drop one in. Editor, if you could put in a past guest sweeper here, please. Thank you. That was a good one.
He talked about what it meant to him to smile on the outside while everything's falling apart on the inside. And a lot of us deal with this. And he also talks about that mental health doesn't always show up with loud symptoms. And sometimes it's that silence. It's that daily grind in the moments you push through that keep going. He talked about how he felt completely broken and how he kept choosing to show up anyway. And overall, his message was very simple but powerful. You're not alone. And it's such an important thing to remember, because when you go through grief, when you go through loss, when you go through depression, it is lonely. There is any kind of mental health. Nobody can share that with you. They can understand it. They can hear you, they can validate you, but they're not there in your head. You are alone on that journey. And that sucks. So I think that this class and the fact that he was willing to speak to people, and Lisa said it like that. She said he doesn't talk at you, he speaks with you. And in doing so, he builds the kind of connection Peloton is known for. This is a class for anyone who's ever felt alone, overwhelmed, or stuck. And this ride matters because all of our stories matter. This ride is a reminder that your story matters and you matter, whether it is infertility, anxiety, grief, or just trying to get through the day. And I just thought this was beautifully written by Lisa, and we wanted to make sure that we shared it.
Absolutely. If you live in the Nashville area or want to visit Nashville, and a lot of people might be because this is in conjunction with CMA Fest, which obviously...
Oh, is it? I didn't know Sounds Like Nashville was part of that.
Yeah, which brings a lot of people
CMA
to
Fest.
town. Yeah, but they are doing meet and greets with Callie, Gullickson, Logan, and Hannah Corbin.
They sure are. And it's going to be June 5th through 7th. It will be at the Sky Deck on Broadway. They're going to have a fitness extravaganza. So there's going to be, you have the chance, attendees while they're there are going to have a chance to register for special classes with Peloton instructors, and they all get a meet and greet. And of course, you have to register right away because space is limited. It's probably already gone.
Yeah, by the time this winds its way through the system.
Exactly. But each day, one of these instructors is going to lead a 30-minute class, and you're going to have dancing, cardio, bar. Those are the three that we're going to do. And so that's going to be dance with Callie, hit cardio with Logan, and bar with Hannah. And then from 11 to 5, you also can find the instructors. They are going to be emceeing on the Sky Deck stage from 11 to 5. That's crazy. And then it's also going to be open to anyone over 18 who is also attending the CMA Fest. So you can only register if you are already attending CMA Fest. And if you're for one of the first 100 participants to register, then it says be one of the first 100 participants to register for each class and secure your spot. So I guess they're only open to 100.
It's capped, yeah.
Yeah, I read it backwards, so I thought there was going to be more. Sorry.
If you're one of the first 100 to register, you get to do it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And the check-in is really early. Every day, it's at 7:40 a.m. each day. So that's really early.
I guess you Peloton types get up early.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, Matty Maggiacomo got an in-studio visit from Mel Robbins, who's having a moment.
Mel Robbins is always having a moment.
But she's been like #1 on the bestseller list for like the last 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger moment than what she's normally having.
Absolutely. I guess so. Matty met Mel several years ago at this point, and she was like, I had a great time meeting you. If there's ever anything you need, let me know. So Matty let her know. And she did it. And it was his birthday. I just think that's really special that she came for his birthday. Also, that participants in the class were Rebecca Kennedy and Jess Sims. They showed up too. And of course, it wasn't just a Matty class because that's just not how Matty rolls.
There's no such thing as just a Matty class.
Exactly. So Matty did a walk and talk, and they taught. So basically, he kind of interviewed her, which, as you remember, and I'm sure many of our listeners remember, Matty is a journalist at heart. That's how he came
up through the system. Yeah,
exactly. And Helper B. Lindsay wrote a whole write-up on this, and she talked about the fact that she would just love to go and hang out with them and just stay there forever because it was so much fun. They gave accurate advice like, if everything's important, nothing is. You can get addicted to busyness, etc. And then
tell the kids all the time, all italics is the same as no italic.
You do. And we also got a big Matty Diva playlist. There was Mariah, Janet, Lady Gaga. Need I say more? And then Matty actually asked for advice on milestone birthdays because he just entered a new decade. It is his 40th birthday that he just had. And Mel said that the biggest mistake we make before looking forward is not looking back. So take the time to look at pictures, maybe over the last year. Think about your worst and best moments. What do you want to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing? She also pushed her let them theory. Let them think what they want to think. Let them misunderstand your dreams. Your dreams are not meant for other people. Stop seeking validation from those who cannot understand. And your brain can be programmed to be happier and lead a better life. Someone else taught you to think you're not good enough. So get serious about talking to yourself differently. So I just think that's pretty cool. And I'm glad that Lindsay took the time to do this, and I think it's really great that Mel Robbins showed up. I want to also acknowledge that there are a lot of people who really do not like Mel Robbins and are really angry that she is on the Peloton platform at all in any way. And they feel that I saw the words used over and over, grifter.
Okay.
Yeah. Just felt like I needed to acknowledge that.
Yes. Glamour magazine has a very nice spotlight of Tunde.
I have a question, though. I believe that this might be Glamour Australia.
Oh, I think you're right. I'm looking at it now. It's .co.za.
I think it's New Zealand.
I think that might be New Zealand.
Okay.
Because Australia is .au.
It is. You're right. Yeah.
Right.
So New Zealand. Sorry.
Yeah.
But either way, cool. And like you said, either way, it's an amazing write-up.
For sure.
They have some beautiful pictures of Tunde, and she talks about her career shift, overcoming imposter syndrome, and how movement became her purpose. She also shares why true wellness is more than just a workout, and why she is suiting up for her next big chapter with intention, courage, and authenticity. So great article, long article, and we will have the link and we will send it out to you.
Peloton Artist Collaboration.
The latest artist series features Avril Lavigne, someone I've heard of.
I know. I think this one will be a lot of fun. I still haven't taken the Beastie Boys one, though.
Yeah.
Our weekend got crazy.
What did we do? I don't remember.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. We had guests. Our whole life's a blur.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, yes, there's going to be new classes that are going to be dropping on demand. There's going to be lane break classes. There's going to be instructor-led classes, and the on-demand start on Wednesdays, and the instructor-led ones start on Thursday. By the time you hear this, they will already be out.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's not an artist series, but it's music, so it's adjacent.
It is.
Peloton has published a new batch of Iconos Latinos.
They have, yeah. There's going to be a 30-minute Iconos Latinos full body strength. That's going to be with Brad on Saturday, May 17th. There's going to be a 30-minute ride with Camila on May 18th, and a 30-minute yoga flow with Mariana on May 18th.
Past guest update.
You might remember past guest Carrie Gormley. She was on episode 160.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. We didn't, I don't think we were doing video yet.
Gosh, has it been that long?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
So she is hosting a virtual book club event.
She is.
With none other than Kirsten McGee.
Yeah. How exciting is that to be able to do? Very exciting. It's going to be taking place on May 27th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It will be taking place via Zoom. We will have links in the newsletter. You will be able to find it within the group. But, you know, what a great way to be involved in the community. Get to see Kirsten McGee. So many people miss her so much.
Yeah.
And that's just a really cool thing for Carrie to be able to do. So glad that she shared that with us, and we get to share it with all of you.
For sure. Okay, coming up after this, we've got celebrity news, some country music celebrity news, and we're going to dig into all the content so you can figure out which classes that you've been missing out on. So stick around.
Peloton Artist Collaboration.
So Kane Brown has been showing off his abs.
Yes.
So apparently he didn't used to have abs. I mean, I guess we all have abs, but not like what
Not
we
a
think
six
of as,
pack,
right.
not chiseled abs.
Correct, but now he does.
He does, yeah.
Now, people are speculating that the Peloton is involved. And from reading this article, it doesn't say if he's using Peloton, but they include a quote. He posted a picture, and people on the gram people were going back and forth. And the article quotes Logan Aldridge responding to him. So I think that's fueling speculation that perhaps Kane Brown is using Peloton in some capacity. Now, he's also, according to the article, has been spotted at Planet Fitness. You would think somebody like Kane Brown...
I will say, when you travel all the time, sometimes you can't have it all with you.
He's arena level.
He is.
And so he can travel with it, or you're playing arenas, so the arenas he's playing are NHL and NBA arenas, so they probably have a full workout room on site.
Wasn't it that long? Didn't he come to one of the Peloton classes? Like, I think he was live in a class. So, like, he definitely does Peloton.
I don't remember.
I am almost positive that he did. But if you read this quote that Logan wrote on his wall, it says, putting in work, that Kane Brown full body strength class at one Peloton is paying off. See, he did a class.
So I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw it was Logan. I kept... Me and Kane Brown have some bad blood.
I know.
So,
I remember I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
You saw that.
I did see that.
I will share that story.
Over on the bonus. You have every right to be a little miffed.
But I'm a little salty towards Kane Brown.
Yes.
So we will share that story.
But congratulations on your abs, Mr. Brown.
Yes. Well done. Can I congratulate a man on his abs? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's 2025.
Why not?
One man can congratulate another man's abs.
I think so.
Yes.
I mean, as long as you don't have some kind of like weird thing about, says, does that change who you are as a person because you acknowledge, and I don't think that's who you are, Tom.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. You tell us classes and we tell you classes. I just say it wrong now because I know how much it irritates you.
Boy, you sure bring the heat. Like, you really sell it.
I love the stink face that you give me.
Because you just sound so, you're just like, Anyway, Helper B. Nikki wrote this up this week, but we have some classes to share that are lots of fun. One of them was from TCO tipster Amy. She was really excited about a 45-minute full body strength taught by Rebecca Kennedy on May 18th. She said that it was a pyramid class. And it was tough, but it had rest, and Amy appreciated that it was not complicated moves.
Oh, I thought you had to get 2 friends to take it, and then they had to get 2 friends to take it.
That's a pyramid scheme.
Oh.
That's different.
Okay.
And then the moves, because
the latest artist series is with Bernie Madoff.
Because the moves were not complicated, they let her focus on form, and she didn't get frustrated. And also, RK threw in a bonus impersonation of a Rogue sports bra pad insert mid-class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your next one is a favorite walk.
The favorite walk was Mel Robbins with Matty
Well, it
during
sounds
his
like it's
walk and
also
talk.
the most hated walk, but
No, I wouldn't
could
say
be
it was
both.
the most hated. It was one Reddit thread, and they're
Gotcha.
angry about everything. Like, I don't think there is a subject that they don't get angry about.
it's the internet.
Exactly. But TCO listener Ray picked this class. He said he loved the positive energy during the session, and he hopes that more are done with this type of collaboration. And lots of people felt the same way. Yeah, Lindsay loved it, and she said it's exactly the kind of class that leaves you smiling and thinking.
Number 3 is your favorite outdoor class.
My girl Mariana, she taught a 30-minute mindful walk. And do you know, this was posted on 5/14. This is the first outdoor walk this woman has had on the platform.
Oh.
That is why it was nominated, because Karen Smith was like, I was so excited to take this class. I have been not so patiently waiting for outdoor walking content from her.
She's been standing in her driveway hitting refresh.
And I cannot wait for more.
Number 4, your favorite ride.
Favorite ride is with Dennis Morton. He taught this class on May 10th. It was a 30-minute 2000s ride. Karen Smith loved this class as well. She said not only was the music on point, it was worth taking just for the look he gives the camera when Low by Flo Rida comes on.
And, finally, number 5, your unstackable. It is a run.
Okay, Mariana is back again.
Look at that. Running and walking.
And it's a 30-minute progression run that was taught on May 18th. Rich Glass nominated this. He said he did it live. It was a hard but fun class. If you've ever taken a progression run, you know exactly what he means, because that steady speed increases. They sneak up on you. And by the final minutes, you're questioning all your life choices in the best way.
Now take a look at this week at Peloton. We have commuting meditations.
We do. These communing medication classes are great whenever you might have, maybe you're sitting on a train, maybe even walking. You're not closing your eyes, just walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Had me worried for a second.
These are 10-minute classes that are guided specifically for your commutes to help you mentally prepare for the day ahead, give you a peaceful wind down on your way home. And these classes drop on demand starting this Wednesday. So by the time you hear this, it will already be out.
We also have a new At the Club class.
We do. And I thought these used to be called something different, like slightly different, but it's At the Club with John Husky. Husking, but we call him Husky.
Gotcha.
And it will be taking place on Friday, May 23rd, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. BST. We also have a recovery ride from Christian Vandeveld. I didn't know the man recovered. We have a 45-minute recovery ride, and that will be dropping on demand Wednesday, May 21st at midnight.
Peloton has introduced a new class type, longevity.
It's mobility and strength for longevity specifically. And
Type longevity.
okay.
Okay.
These classes, everyone's asking, where are these classes? Where are these classes? They're dropping on demand on May 18th, so they should be out by the time they're out now.
Right.
But people had been asking this all last week whenever they kept showing up. And I never looked to see what they were under, so I'm curious if they are under mobility or if they are under strength.
Interesting.
I think... I would say stretching is where I would have put them.
Can they double classify?
Oh, they could, but will they? I mean,
Gotcha.
Lately it's like getting one tag we're real happy that it just got that. So I don't know. But so many people have very strong opinions about this because people who are older are like, great, mobility is so important for longevity. And then I literally have had people be like, why are they calling me old? Or I still do all these other things and I'm whatever age. And it's okay, that's great. You keep doing that.
Yeah.
But also this is good too. I know people get so upset.
Okay. We have a new 100-day streak challenge, which is good that you normally do these at home so you can take off your clothes.
It's not that kind of streak.
So don't do the streak challenge on like an outdoor walk.
It's more of working out or recovering for 100 days straight.
Or a studio class.
It's not about taking off your clothes.
Then I have lost interest.
I figured. It's working out. You lost interest before we started.
That's true.
Yeah. But so the first 100-day streak was such a hit that they signed up for another one.
But
so
added nudity.
There's no nudity. Stop adding the nudity. I did want to also mention, we don't have an image for it, but I did want to say that the Tread Elevation Challenge is also back in May. People were also very upset about that because it didn't include the bike. It's only for the tread.
Right.
And people who love the bike are very upset about that.
And it does not include nudity.
No nudity.
Which is why people were upset.
You're at home. You can do whatever you want, but that's not the goal.
Maybe wear shoes though.
Peloton birthdays.
We have birthdays. We got 2 of them this week. The first is Benny Adami on May 27th.
Happy birthday, Benny.
And finally, Jess King on May 29th.
Happy birthday, Jess King.
So get your Hallmark cards ready.
Send them in the mail.
Yes. That's it for this one. Until next time, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Threads and Blue Sky, Instagram, and of course, the Peloton leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. Find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. Also, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/The Clip Out. $5 a month. You get ad-free episodes. You get all sorts of bonus content. You'll get to find out why I'm mad at Kane Brown. We're going to go tell that story right now. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling.
And running.
And rowing.
Bye.